Good morning, everyone. You're listening to the Drip Podcast. It's your girl, Nick, and I'm here with co-host Mr. O.
Yes, indeed.
And Cam, I am.
You know it.
What's going on, guys?
Everything's
It's been
growing in many ways.
It's been a different week.
Yeah.
So let's get into highs and lows. Cam.
Oh, let's see. Highs. I'm going to say, what did I do this week? I don't know. It's been a blur.
Yeah, it really has been.
I'm trying to think of how. Oh, I caught up with an old friend this past weekend. It was really good catching up with him and reminiscing and whatnot. So that was a high.
Yeah, that was a high.
Don't do that, Nick. Don't do that.
What was your low?
It was hard to come down from that high. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure everybody already heard the news about Nipsey Hussle. That was my low. Still kind of my low. Oh, what you got?
Oh, well, my high and low is kind of combined and has some impact from what has occurred with Brother Nipsey. A friend of mine out in California was in an accident and was in a bad accident, wound up laid up in the hospital, looked like he had neck brace and everything on. Turned out he was okay, but he found out this week from the police report that the guy that hit him had a sawed-off shotgun and a ski mask in the front seat of his car. He was on his way to do some damage.
Yeah.
But the accident that my friend was involved in, that my friend was in the center of, put a stop to it all and saved possibly someone else's life. But he wound up feeling like he was divinely intervening in a situation that...
Be like, God, I want to be the vessel, but gosh.
Not in this neck brace.
Not the target.
Oh, man.
Right.
Glad he's okay, though.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
I'm glad he's good.
Right.
Nick,
So that was
That's
your
my high and my low. It was like, my man is hurt. Then it's like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
that happened too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank God. What's yours?
I'm always high. My family's
Are you?
good. As long as my family's safe, my kids are good. My low this week has been, the news of Nipsey Hussle's death, and it's taken me through some emotional changes, thinking about my sons and my nephews and my friends' sons. It's been an emotional week, so that would be my low, and we'll talk a little bit about Nipsey later on the show. But prayers going out to his entire family,
Absolutely.
the community in LA. People all over the world are mourning this man, and it's a beautiful,
Rightfully
tragic
so.
thing.
Right.
It's beautiful though. And we'll talk about some more stuff in the show today. My energy level is low, so
Yeah, y'all, Nick over here looking real.
you gotta get it together. Gotta get it together. I'm gonna be okay.
Right.
A little nasally over here. You okay?
Yeah, I didn't want anybody to notice that, but yeah.
Could I get a 2-piece?
Listen, I hope my sister is listening. My sister is here from New Jersey. My sister and my brother are here from
What's
New
up,
Jersey.
sis?
Jersey?
What's up,
What part of
Noma?
Tammy? I hope you're listening.
What part of Jersey?
Steven.
Louisville, I think. I don't.
Oh.
They're not that far from Philly. I don't.
Yeah,
think.
I used to be in Willingboro,
Oh, okay.
Gloucester, around in that area. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Centerville, what's up?
Well, we have a good show planned for you today. We're going to talk Nipsey Hussle, what we know about him, how the world is mourning this young king. We're going to talk a little bit about Black Lives Matter and their movement or not, and challenges that the Black community are facing, and what's the medicine, what's the cure for it. We'll get deeper into that conversation. But right now, what's the drip? Oh.
Well, today, what's the drip? Might have you frowning your face and asking life, what the drip is going on?
Oh, that was good.
Look here. Newly released pro-life film Unplanned. Have you guys heard about this movie?
Mm-mm.
It's a movie that came out last weekend. Apparently, comedian named, and she's a full frontal host. Her name is Samantha Bee. Apparently, she commented on this particular program. It's a movie, and she said that this particular movie is what they call anti-choice propaganda, because the movie is talking about a person or a woman who was the former Planned Parenthood leader she was like the youngest director ever selected by Planned Parenthood. And the whole movie is kind of like about life and death encounters. It's got a courtroom scene. It's got spiritual transformation. Everything is involved in this movie, because this woman goes from being an advocate for pro-life, an advocate for choice, and then she comes back to, no, I don't want that. It's pro-life. She's all about it. And the way it comes off is where she says that it was an issue before where it related to her not wanting to have the right to keep or discard this baby. But something happened where she had to go into the back room and she started seeing the actual procedure, where she sees the babies fighting and struggling for their lives as the surgery is being performed.
So it's a movie,
I heard about her.
documentary?
Yeah,
It's a movie.
Yeah,
Actual movie. Okay.
But it's based on a true story. So, and in fact, it wound up coming in fourth behind Dumbo, Us, Captain Marvel, and then it's Unplanned. So it's called Unplanned, right?
I'm gonna check this out.
So this TV host or comedian, she comes off saying and encouraging her audience, saying it's obviously ridiculous and no one should see it, but the trailer is honestly wonderful. What? Okay. Then she says that it's not an awful show, because obviously it cleared $6 million in its first weekend, but it's gotten a little bit of traction.
Yeah, I don't think I heard much about it.
But the other side of it is Mike Pence, the vice president. That's what made it really newsworthy. This guy goes on Twitter and he promotes it and says, "So good to see movie theaters across the country showing Unplanned Movie, a deeply inspiring new pro-life film based on the best-selling book by Abby Johnson. More and more Americans are embracing the sanctity of life because of powerful stories like this."
They about to use this as a pitch for the election. Yeah.
But it's a good point.
Yeah.
And it's interesting though too, because the way the movies fell out in terms of what did the best over the weekend. If Yoda were to say it, it'd be Dumbo, Us, Captain Marvel, Unplanned, you are.
OMG. Somebody come get
Yeah, please come get them.
Listen, for the next one, check this out. Now this right here has to do with, and that's all of this has to do with what we've been talking about. 4 young men spending their spring break in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They're confronted by a gunman. But instead of giving in to his demands, they fight back. The Broward Sheriff's Office on Tuesday released surveillance footage of the March 17th incident at a mobile gas station on Oakland Park Boulevard. The video showed a man exiting the vehicle with a covering over his face. He approaches the group of young men and brandishes what appears to be a handgun. The victims told the police, he said, "Give me everything you got." A struggle ensued, and the young man tackled the suspect to the ground. A second suspect, identified by the police as Kevin Campbell, he rushed to help the gunman. But during the struggle, the armed man dropped his gun, and one of the victims picked it up and pointed at the 2 suspects, and they both ran away. Now, here's the thing. He told them to give him all they got.
Yeah.
And they gave him all they had. Absolutely. They came at him. Now, the victims were all related. And they said, he told the guys, he said, the guy picked up the gun and told them, said, "Raise your hands." They raised their hands and told the guy, said, "Look, just give me the gun. We'll leave you guys alone."
Yeah.
This is wild.
Exactly. But you know what? They did wind up saying, none of them were ever afraid. They said, "I know it was a possibility we could have got shot and killed. I knew that. But we family. We die for each other."
I like it.
What you willing to die for?
That's good.
That's a good question.
What you willing to die for?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the drip.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Create eye-catching designs that will make your apparel top of the line. The possibilities are endless with ski tees and apparel. No order too large or small. One item or hundreds, no problem. With quick turnarounds, no setup charges or hidden fees, and rush services to fit your needs. Customize your look today by calling 440-462-9401. That's 440-462-9401. And also follow us on the web at skiteesapparel.com.
You're listening to the Drip Podcast with Nick and Mar. Keep it live.
Wake up, kick back, relax, take a break this morning. Ease your mind and your soul after morning yawning. Get your mug, get your joke, get your tea, get a grip. Take a sip, you listen to the Drip.
Hey, everybody, we're back with the Drip. Hey, our producer. That was great.
He out here showing
That was real.
out.
Yeah,
Shining.
showing out.
Shining.
I wish y'all could
Shining.
see
Y'all wish you could see him.
Right. I'm going to show it.
That was good, Dre.
Look at that. Look at that.
That was good, Dre.
He's showing
That
out
was
out here.
yeah, you showed out. That was real good. I have to listen to that again.
Man.
Hey, Mar.
Hey, Mar. I'm mad that you're not
Let's
here
up the
I
way.
know.
again.
We're gonna have to fight her later.
And I'm gonna rub it in that you're not here again.
She out here
I miss
vacationing
you.
and whatnot.
This
So,
whole drip thing, girl.
You know, we'll carry on without you again. Okay, we have a good show lined up. I promised myself, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather, so I'm drinking water and stuff.
Stay hydrated.
To stay
Y'all
stay
tune
hydrated.
in to the Drip
I
on Spreaker.
This has been an emotional week. A lot of people don't know about Nipsey Hussle. The rapper, the activist, the entrepreneur. But he was tragically, I call it assassinated, on Sunday. And we just want to send prayers out to his family. And like we said before, the community in Los Angeles, people who knew him, people who didn't, people who he was what I call a silent mentor for.
Definitely.
Yeah. Our thoughts and prayers are going out. People are mourning him all over the world. And it just sends a huge message of who he was and what an impact he was.
The impact is unbelievable.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, you listen to somebody's music and you think you might be the only one, you know, grooving to what he's put